right, everybody. Welcome, guys, here to Swahili Nation, One Africa. I'm very excited to be here right now, and I am very excited that you guys are joining me right now here. Do me a favor. I know we have a lot of people joining from X, people joining from YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. We're live everywhere. YouTube, Swahili Nation, other platforms like X, Instagram, and TikTok, Mika Chavala. I'm thinking about opening another account by, Kwizera Mugisha, because that is my name right now. I need to Kwizera Mugisha. All right, that is my name. So I'm thinking about opening other platforms with that name. But if you go to my Instagram right now, in the bio, you will find my name in Kinyarwanda as well. Kwizera Mugisha is right there. That is my name. Rwandese people, they don't know me as Mika, but they know me as Kwizera Mugisha. It's fascinating because today we went to BK Arena and we've been there the whole day. And when I meet up with people, they call me as Mugisha. Sometimes I forget my name, so they say, hey, Mugisha, and I'm like, I'm still getting used to my own name, but it's all love, man. It's all love. So I thought it's very important for me to come to do this live. Because I don't want to do this live while I'm away from Rwanda, and I don't have many days left here in Rwanda. Even though I would love to stay here for as long as I can, man. I just love this country, man, and I'm gonna talk about that here today. I call it serious talk from Rwanda because I think it's about time for us to have serious talk, and I think this talk will basically address to Africa about Rwanda. That's what I'm going to be talking about here today. So if you're joining, if there's somebody who is not joining here, I want you to copy this link and share with them right now. Tell them there's only one place to meet, and that is here, Kwizera Mugisha. I love this name, man. Platforms, okay? Now, I'm going to address these very important matters to Africa. And I think it is very important. It is very important to address these things the way it is. I promised you guys from the very start in 2022, we say that we're going to be brutally honest with ourselves. And, it's going to be the year of actions. And this year we announced that it's going to be a year of excellence. And thank God that he brought me to Rwanda, because at the beginning of this year, at Swahili Nation, we announced that it's going to be a year of excellence. And here I am in Rwanda. I see the excellence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see the excellence in Africa, in the country of Rwanda. And this year we announced that this is going to be a year of excellence. And another funny thing I just shared on my X and TikTok as well, that, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when I was releasing a lot of videos about Rwanda, I went back to the history and I read and I studied again the history of genocide. And at this time, I did not know that it happened on April. Mind you, 3 weeks ago, when I started, first time I started again because I wanted to give my general opinion based on historical facts and what I know and give my own opinion. So I went back, I read the history again, and then I made a video. I made a video talking about, this tension that is happening, right? I made a video, and 3 weeks later, I'm here in Rwanda. When I was reading that story, I had no idea that I'm going to come to Rwanda. I had no idea that I'm going to be invited. I was just reading this history. I just read the history because I was like, okay, there's too much noises outside. I need to understand by myself. I cannot just follow what US say, what France say, what this say. No, I need to understand. So I went, I read, I did research, and then I came out with my own opinion. Fast forward, 2 weeks later, I received invitation, and then voila, here I'm in Rwanda. And I'm in Rwanda during the time that right now it's the time that today actually is the climax of the remembrance of these 3 decades, 30 years since the genocide against the Tutsi happened in 1994. And I was surprised. My mind was blown away because 3 weeks ago, I was just reading about this. And then 3 weeks later, I'm in the country. I'm actually in the place to experiment. Let me tell you this. What happened today, or what happened in these couple of days that I've been here in Rwanda, It is not just the history, it's not just something remembering what happened in 1994. Man, for me, it is an experience. Today, this is what I felt when I was there in the BK Arena. I felt I was actually transported back to 1994. So I'm sitting there listening to His Excellency, Paul Kagame, giving his speech. And then I felt like, when he's giving these personal stories, what happened to his cousin, what happened to this man, and now we're watching these videos of what happened to this person and that. It's like I was transported to 1994, and then I was seeing these events happening. I was sitting there, man. I did not clap even for a second in that speech. Not because I was not impressed. I was highly impressed. I think impressed. I think that I think that is the best speech ever happened. That is my general opinion. I think it was the best, and it has everything to do with the experience, what I experienced. I felt like I was taken back to 1994, and I was seeing these events happening. So I was taken away, and I felt myself, I was there. And that's when, man, I was hit so bad. You guys have been seeing my videos, talking about Rwanda, sharing. You guys, that I love Rwanda. But after today, I'll say this, that I am madly in love with Rwanda, because I was able to see everything clearly. Like, because I was in the experience. I was taking the experience. Oh, yeah. All the music that these young people, youth did, play and all this stuff. Man, I'm a musician. Okay, I play piano, I play guitar, I sing, I write song. So listening to this, I was connected with the music. Yes, I did not understand the language, what they're singing about, but I could feel the emotions. I could feel the lyrics somewhere in the spirit, like I was feeling something. That's why I say I was transported in 1994, and I realized that I was there, and I felt the weight of the pain. I know, I cannot really compare with what, Rwandese people went through. I cannot really compare what you feel. I'm not here to compare with that, but at least I felt the glim. It's different when you read and when you experience. I read about it, but I'm there listening to this. And so the reason why I did not clap throughout the entire speech, because, man, I was in the experience. I was experiencing that moment. And that's when I was hit so bad, because before we see as this is something that happened to Rwandese people. But what I see right now, I see this is something that happened to my people. This is something that happened to my brothers and sisters. This is something that happened to Africans. Not Rwandese, no, to Africans. And that's when I felt the weight of what was happening. And I was asking myself this question. Oh, let me pray a little quick before continue. God, I thank you for today. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to have this conversation again. God, I pray that your wisdom and understanding, and most importantly, our people, our mind will be opened again to realize, to understand who we really are, who we truly are, and who we are called to be. We're called to be brothers keepers. We're called to be there for one another. We are called to be one. And I just pray that that spirit will be manifested here today. In your precious name, Christ, I pray. Amen. All right. So then I realized this. I was hit so bad, guys, with everything that was happening. And, our timetable was like after the first event, we were supposed to leave to come back to the hotel and then to go back again to the event, around like 5 p.m. for 6 p.m. event. But I stayed there the whole time. I did not want to leave because everything that was happening was just so real, and I could feel it. And that's why I want to say this, man. I think we as Africans, we are not really acknowledging enough what Rwanda went through and what Rwanda went through for the past 3 decades. We are not paying attention enough. We're not giving attention enough. We're not talking about it enough. And we're not acknowledging what Rwanda did for the past 3 decades. It's crazy that this country were traumatized. There's a lot of things happening in the continent. But man, the experience and what happened in 1994, You cannot compare. I know all of Africans will share struggles. You know, if it is colonization, Rwanda went through colonization. Genocide, not a lot of countries in Africa went through that. In 1994, what I think we as Africans, first of all, we don't really acknowledge that this happened to our brothers and sisters, not to Rwandese, no, I mean to Africans. Like, you can say that, okay, this happened to Rwandese. It sounds a little bit distant, right? But when you realize that Rwandese, they're actually African, then you begin to think that this happened to African. And imagine if you were born around that time. I was born in 1993, okay? So I was like 1 year old. I don't even remember hearing what happened because I was just a little kid. But I was thinking about myself, what if at that time I was born in Rwanda? And that means perhaps Kwizera Mugisha would have not been here. Okay, some of y'all are millennium. Maybe you were born in 2000. God bless you. But I was born right before the genocide happened. So I had to think today that what if I was born in Rwanda? I wouldn't have been here today. Guys, 1993, 1994 happened. I would have, what if I was born at that time in Rwanda? And when I personalized this story, I realized this thing did not happen to Rwandese people because they wanted to happen to them or because they are cursed more than others. No. This could happen to anybody else. What happened to them? How much do we acknowledge that this, because I was listening to the speech of His Excellency, you know, and I know there are African countries. He mentioned some of African countries that stood, you know, with Rwanda around that time. It was actually the same time that, you know, South Africa was going through apartheid and also Rwanda was going through this. So it was actually around the same time. But right now, what Rwanda have achieved in the range of 30 years, in 3 decades, it's something that is supposed to be celebrated with the entire continent. I'm telling you, man, I don't know why we don't do that, because I don't see that enough. Right? I've been in this world for quite a long time, and I don't know what I've seen here. I haven't seen it. Today, I'm looking at the social media, what India has done, you know, with Rwanda's flag. I see other countries, what they post, what they do, but I barely see what Africa does. Some of African countries, I barely see. Because we don't see this as an event that happened to Africans. We see it as an event that happened to Rwandese. We need to personalize this to ourselves, because there's a lessons to learn to what happened to Rwanda. And today, His Excellency was talking about it, that, you know, after that event, you know, I went to Rwanda Cooperation Institute, and the gentleman there, he told us that in 1994, everything came to zero. Like, it was actually zero. You know, infrastructure was zero, healthcare was zero, education was zero. Everything went all the way to the bottom, ground. It was nothing. Totally smashed, totally destroyed. The country, there was nothing. But imagine, from 1994 all the way to 1998, that's when they had to make this meeting in one region called Urugwiro. I hope I pronounce it well. Urugwiro. This meeting was like in 1998 all the way to 1999 March. So His Excellency Paul Kagame, you know, other ministers and all top leaders, you know, they had to sit down and to talk about the fate of the country. Why genocide happened? Why? What did we do wrong? Why did we let this happen? Imagine, this is accountability. This is themselves taking accountability. Why we let this happen? They had to talk. They had to discuss. And also another agenda was the way forward. Okay, how are we going to rebuild this country? How are we going to reunite with our people? How are we going to bring back the value of Rwandese culture? The culture that before, you know, this genocide happened. There's something that happened with the, you know, during the time of genocide, right? And what are we going to do to go back before then? And they came up with these 3 strategies. And I talked about this in some of the videos I'll share with you guys. You know, the first thing, it was, thinking big, that we must think beyond our ethnicity. We must look beyond our tribe, beyond our religions, beyond our difference. We have to think big that, yes, right now we're here at the bottom ground, but we can change. We can bring our country back. We can do that. Think beyond. And man, I'm moving around the country of Rwanda. Every single person I meet, young people, man, we went to one company, one technology company. Man, these guys, they think big. These guys, they don't think about easy stuff. I mean, if you want to know that in action, come to Rwanda. Look at the country. Look at the country, man. A lot of time I forget that I'm in Africa. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of time I forget that I'm in Africa. I feel like I'm not in Africa. I stayed in Korea for almost 10 years. Sometimes I feel like I'm there because I see the same spirit. The same thing that happened to Rwanda, Korea, it went through kind of like similar experience. The city of Seoul was just destroyed completely because of the wars. You know, Korea, it had a war with China, it had a war with Japanese, it had a war with Mongolians, it had a war with North Korea. It was totally smashed. But look at where Korea is today. It's one of the leading economy of the world. You talk about Samsung coming from Korea, LG coming from Korea, Kia coming from all the #1 companies. You see, the internet in Korea, man, is like this. The safety in that country is like this. So sometimes I feel like I'm in Korea. And also, it's just a small country as well. But it has the population of 60 million people. I'm here. Sometimes I don't even... I forget that I'm in Rwanda. When I go around the street, I forget. This level of excellence in this country, man, I've never seen anywhere in the continent of Africa. I'll tell you the truth. I've never seen anywhere. I've never seen anywhere. The level of excellence, man, I am lacking word, man. I wish I was speaking Kinyarwanda, to tell you guys exactly what I feel. Because even... So the first strategy, it was thinking big. I explained about it. The second strategy, it was to unite, to come together as people. That, all right, the house that is divided can never stand. We need to come together to unite, to fight for this country. Because the fate of this country is on us. Nobody else has been looking at us. Everybody else let this thing happen. And today, His Excellency shared one story. I want you guys to go to watch the speech of His Excellency Paul Kagame. I uploaded it on YouTube, Swahili Nation. I want you guys to go to listen very careful, beginning till the end. He shared one story about what France did to them. They threatened them not to go, actually not to capture these cities back, basically they threatened. He said himself specifically said he was threatened with the general. But you know what they did? They did exact opposite. They went back, they took back the country. And right now, 30 years later, look at where the country is. And he said this, he said, we are not afraid of anything. Because fear is what stops us from doing impossibilities. Fear is what stops us. Imagine if His Excellency feared back then, that means Rwanda we see today, this story will never be this kind of story. It will never be this kind of story. We cannot let fear stop us. So in order for us to rebuild the country, we need to come together. That's the second strategy. We need to come together. Forget about your tribe. I share this message with my brother, my fellow Ethiopians. I shared with them, drop your tribe. That is very, very popular video I made about Ethiopia, drop your tribe. And basically what I meant is that, okay, before you're a tribe, you're an African. First of all, you're a human being. That's what unites us all. All of us, we have red blood. If you cut me, you find red blood. If you cut a white man, you're going to see the same thing. Chinese man, you're going to see the same thing. We are human. The second thing, we are all Africans. So you see how all of us, we are categorized in a same group of people. Human being, that's the first one. Africans, the second one. And then you can call your country after that I am Rwandese, I am Tanzanians, I'm Kenyan, I am Ethiopian. You see? But there's a very little mind people who think through the eyes of tribe. Nyerere said this, that it's ridiculous that in 21st century we have people who are still riding through the buses of tribalism. And that's what kills a lot of countries in Africa. So he said, you know what? We are one people. We're not going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the unity of our people. Bring back our country. Bringing back our country together. Because what divided us? Because we are not thinking big. We're thinking through the eyes of ethnicity. We were not one. We allowed to be divided and to kill each other within 1 month. Guys, 1 month, 30 days, more than 1 million people were slain. Children, women, men, everybody in the church, everywhere. 1 month, guys, 1 million. 1 month. 1 month. Tell me you don't feel anything about it. And if you feel something about it, what are you going to do about it? I'm going to give you solutions. I say this is serious talk from Rwanda. I haven't even mentioned the point I want to talk about today. I'm going there. I'm just trying to build this point through the historical background, just to show you guys that I know history too. All right. So the third strategy, it was the first one I said, thinking big, and then uniting people. The third one, being accountable. Accountable. That, hey, you know what happened to us? We have a part to play. We have a part to play. We have a part to play. And we must hold each other accountable through. And this culture, I've seen it everywhere, man. I've seen it everywhere here in Rwanda. Seen it everywhere, man. That's why the level of excellence in this country is like no other. Because people are responsible. People are disciplined. People are accountable. Man, they live as if like today is the last day. If they party, they party like today is the last day. I mean, I know you Rwandese people, they party a lot. Right now, I mean, because of this thing, you know, there's not really party going on. But I know after this, these guys, if they party like it's the last day. And if they work, the same mindset, accountability, not only with yourself, but also holding others accountable. Then I love the strategy. I love this strategy, this, how do you call the word? The word is this initiative that His Excellency himself introduced and his government. There's so many initiatives. Let me just name for you guys a little quick. I'm not going to go into details, but there's one, I'm having hard time to pronounce this. This is called Umushikiano. I believe that's, I got it wrong. National Dialogue Council. And then there's another one, Abunzi. Right? This, instead of going maybe to court, you know, you have community that will solve your own issues, right? So, what His Excellency did, basically, he had to decentralize everything. Coming from the top bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like decentralized. Basically, it's kind of like taking power from here and distributing it among people. And I will tell you this, before I was concerned that, okay, if one day, you know, how Rwanda is going to be if one day Paul Kagame finishes his race, His Excellency Paul Kagame. And then I realized this. That's what I was concerned before I came here. But when I came here, I'm no longer concerned about it because I realized that there's a system that is working. What he did, he actually built the system. Do you understand that? He built the system. Most of ministers, most of leaders, man, they're youth in this country. We met with the Minister of Health. Man, he's youth. You know, I think I share his video here on YouTube. He's very youth. Most of the ministers are youth. They're just young men. The youth, young men and young ladies, they're everywhere. So you understand that? Like, this is one of the few countries in Africa that most of the leaders are youth. And the system that he implemented, decentralized, even the healthcare decentralized. You don't really need to go to hospital, but you can actually receive your service in the community level, base community, everything. Okay, there's something called Itorero. This is National Civic Education Program. You know, you learn the history of the country, you learn all those stuff, and then there's another thing, Gachacha Courts. I actually love this so much. Gachacha Courts. All right, this is also a public judicial system because, you know, in 1994, after genocide happened, all those that were responsible, if they would go to an official court, then their cases were supposed to be listened for 125 years because they only had 8 official judges at that time. So that means all this generation would have gone somewhere and some people would just escape, you know. without being held, accountable with the mistake, what they did, right? So they had to come with this idea of gachacha court. Basically, you are being, judged in your community. So in your community, you have these elders, all these people who are trusted. The most trusted people in the community have been chosen. And, everybody in the community are sitting there. And then you're standing there at the middle and they actually judge you for what you have done. You're committed. So if they are not judging you fairly, some people will be like, no, we know this guy. This guy did not say that, did not do that. That's happened openly, publicly in the community. And because of that, within the range of 10 years, they were able to handle a lot of cases, right? Okay, there's another one, Abunzi. There's another one, Umuganda. Umuganda, this is my favorite one. Umuganda is every last Saturday of the month here in the villages in Rwanda. Man, there's this community service. People are coming together to clean the city, to clean the country, maybe to build something, they don't build school, they build. And no exception, even ministers are participating in this. You understand the level of discipline like that? Everybody participating in this. This is the message for those who are not participating. These are kind of things that actually Africa can adapt. This is when I realized, man, His Excellency, let me tell you this, guys. Let me tell you this. The world, the media, how it paints about Rwanda and how it paints about the leader of Rwanda, man, I am so glad that I was thinking outside of the box. Because if I was not thinking outside of the box, man, I would have never come here to Rwanda and I would have never experienced this. Never. Some people, they just see posts on social media and then they take it. They just hear accusation, they just take it. You just take it. No, man. We must be smart enough. You hear the information, you have to take, you have to digest, you have to think about it, you have to do research on your own. You need to have evidence, you need to have proof. You need to do that. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Okay, you're listening to me right now. You need to do research on your own. And one of the best research you can do, just come to Rwanda. I talk to people here, man. When I'm saying I'm talking to people, because when I was outside of here, this is what people made me believe that, people in Rwanda, they're suffering, they're struggling, there's a difficult of life, things are expensive and this and that. Yes, things are looking good in Kigali, but people are suffering. And I believed it. But man, until I came here and I'm talking to people, not on the camera, people that they don't even know who I am. I just conversation with, border, people who are riding motors, I'm talking to, tax drivers. I'm talking to just ordinary folk here in the hotel. I talk to them. But man, what they talk, I did not meet even a single person who say negative about this government, about what? Never. I'm still looking. I'm still searching for that person. I'm still looking for it. But they love this. Do you understand what I'm saying, man? I even envy them. I envy them how much they love their country. I envy them. And I realized this today. I realized the reason why even, Rwandese people, they don't defend themselves on social media that much. They don't make a lot of noises on social media that much because they don't have anything to prove. They love their country. They're the one who experience here in the country. They live life that most of the countries in the continent are not living. If you're talking about a hardship of life is everywhere. If you're talking about expensive life is everywhere, guys. Not only in Rwanda, everywhere, in my country, everywhere, man. There's no country that everything is like the heaven on earth. No. That's why in order to go to heaven, we need to die first and then we go to heaven. Because we are living in this world, man. Difficulties of life, we're going to face it. You need to work hard. You need to earn yourself in order to get money for yourself and to make better of your life. You cannot just sit back and waiting for somebody to hand out for you money like, okay, here's the money, go. No. You need to work for it. You need to bust your ass off to make sure that you make it happen. That's how it is. How much do you want someone to do? How much do you want someone to give? I realize people who are complaining are not even Rwandese. Not even Rwandese. You come here is another story. I have listen to this. I have high respect for this country. And the reason why, because I have people I'm working with. Some people they're telling me, Mika, I have no hope for Africa. People that are in the team with me, Swahili Nation, One Africa, they tell me this. I have no hope. One lady told me this, and I did not say anything. I cried quietly. But I told her that I understand. She said, I've been praying for years, things to change in the continent. They're not changing. I've been crying. Things are not changing. Things are getting worse. When you have this leader, this and that, and then you come to Rwanda, and then you realize that things are possible. And that's why I gave this new nickname to Rwanda. Hashtag Rwanda, the land of possibilities. You come here, you understand that nothing is impossible. And also you understand that sky is not the limit. You come to Rwanda, you understand Rwanda is one of the most developed countries in Africa. The excellence in this country. My language is excellence. Guys, I'm not even kidding. This year, 2024, when we started, we say this 2024 for us, Swahili Nation, is going to be a year of excellence. That was our declaration for this year. And I am here in one of the excellent country. Okay. Umuganda, I told you guys, there's something like imihigo. All right. This is commitment to do something. So you basically, if you're a mayor of the place, you write down your targets. How much do you want to achieve in the range of, January all the way to December? And then at the end of the year, you guys come together. You give your evaluation. People are being there. Okay, you promised to do this and this and this. Why this? You did not be free. For those who did that, they are being awarded something. But for those who did not, this is how you hold each other accountable. All of these things were decentralized. Do you understand? These are some of the smart moves I've ever seen. I came, man, I'm learning these things. I'm like, man, is this country? Where am I at? Huh? Okay, there's something else called Ubudehe. Ubudehe is basically, it was reintroduced in 2001 as a poverty reduction initiative. Guys, I was writing here. Poverty reduction initiative. I was writing in this meeting. I was writing everything. Poverty reduction initiative. So you actually support the most vulnerable people. And also it goes simultaneous with something called Girinka. Girinka, basically, it means one cow per poor family. So those poor family, very poor family, they don't have anything, don't have access for anything, they're given cow. Until 2020, more than 380,000 cows have been given to this family. What does it do? It will give you milk. It will give you fertilizers, maybe for your farming activities and all those stuff. And it helps. It is supported to reduce poverty line in Rwanda. I'm not saying that there's not people are living in that, but it reduced. I'm not saying this is the perfect country, but I'm saying that the effort that has been done for the past 30 years, we cannot ignore. Africa, we cannot ignore. It's vivid, it's obvious, it's tangible. You see it. And I'm just in Kigali, man. One of my wishes is to go around the entire country of Rwanda, to go to everywhere to see this country. I've seen it when I was landing here, but I'm like, no, I need to go there. I need to go because, man. So we had this one testimony yesterday. This guy said there's this one, two white men that came here. And so most of people, I'm telling you, if you're not Rwandese, if you've never been to Rwanda, you're thinking about these things. The story you hear about Rwanda outside of Rwanda, it's like crazy, man. And when you come here, you realize, man, it's nothing. Things you hear there, you feel like, people are being controlled, people are being this and this. And I'm coming here and I'm like, man, look at this. Look at this, man. These are just people who are disciplined. The culture they have in here, okay. I don't even know what to say. I had this professor in my university. He's from Greece. He told me this. He said, Mika, the problem of Africans? I was like, no, enlighten me. I don't know. He told me that, the problem of Africans is that you guys, you don't have discipline. You guys are smart. You guys are talented. You guys have everything, but you're not disciplined. At that time, I agreed with him. But I came to Rwanda. Now I disagree with him. Because then I believe the same thing. I was like, but it sounds true. We don't care about time. We always late. We always this and that. There's things we don't pay attention to. And then I come here, I see people well disciplined, people well organized. So this is the story how it happened. So these two white men, they went to ride a motor. Boda we call in Tanzania. So they went to write it, and this guy, he was talking to this guy. He was telling that, hey, can you take me to this place, and I will give you extra 1,000 of Rwandese money, but I'm not gonna use the element. I'm just not gonna use. I'll give you extra 1,000. The guy said no. He said, I'm going to add 2,000. The guy said, no. He said, I'm going to add to you 3,000. I just don't want to use element. Let's go without element. This guy, he said, you know what? I'm not telling you to take element because of money. No, I'm telling it because it is for your own safety. So I don't need your money, but I want you to be safe. Therefore, I'm not leaving without you putting on the element. These guys, they left. They went to another border. The same thing. Another border. The same thing. This is the level of discipline. Whether you're being seen, whether you're not seen, but what they believe, the norms, the tradition, the values of this country, which His Excellence, he talks about it all the time. His Excellence, Paul Kagame, he always talk. I was always wondering why he always talk about the values of culture of Rwanda. He always talk about it. I came to realize when I came here that, man, they had to re-innovate. They had to bring back the value in their culture. And all these initiatives I mentioned to you, they are named. Guys, they are named. Someone is calling me. All these initiatives I mentioned, guys, they are named after Rwandese, after Kinyarwanda. Why after Kinyarwanda? Because everybody must understand. This is the local language that every Rwandese people speak. So they must understand. When you look at this, when you read, it brings you back to where you come from. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these, they were there even before genocide. But now they're improved well, right? You go through the street of, Rwanda, everywhere is being called after the language of Kinyarwanda. I'm like, man, this is wonderful. This is amazing. And another thing, man, this really surprised me. Okay. This surprised me because I'm coming from the countries that, you always call places after, the president. And I'm wondering, here in Rwanda, there's no places called after the president of Rwanda. I haven't seen it. This BK Arena, you go to whatever, to airport. Most of airports in Africa, they're called after somebody. I did not see that here in Rwanda. Is there something that I don't know? I did not see it. I did not see anywhere. If you go to my country, if you go to you just get there, get there, it's like, hey, you're building the next arena, you're calling it after your name. You build that after your name. It's just everywhere. So you know what? This is what I've seen, that in Rwanda, Rwandese people, they don't defend themselves online or talk, shit about this and this and this. They don't do that at all because, man, their work speaks for itself and these people are happy in their country. And they're happy in here. They don't need to prove anything. They don't need to say anything. Let your work speak for itself. And that's what His Excellence does. You come here, man. Okay, I know a lot of you'll accuse me I'm being paid by, His Excellence. I didn't even meet His Excellence. You saw me begging on social media to wanting an interview with him. You saw it. I did not meet this. I don't even know that he knows me or whatever. We never met. But I'm saying this because I'm seeing the work done. This is why I'm this excited about Rwanda. This is why I've been this excited. I'm coming here. I see the work, tangible work. This is what the people want. That's why I understand when they say, this is my president for life. Live long enough. We want you to be the president for life. You know what? Somebody told me this today. He said, hey, you better come on July for the wedding. And I was like, wedding? Oh, yeah, His Excellency is having wedding again? But they were talking about something else. So it's if in my country the same thing were happening, oh my God, I'll go crazy. And I mean, to be honest, I was like this, let me just not go into those details because I don't want to offend another country talking about another country. The point is this, Africa, I wish, this is my wish, I'll say this. If African Union is listening to this, I hope you do this in the future. I wish Kwibuka, I wish not just to be this, the remembrance that has been done only in Rwanda. I wish it's been done across the continent of Africa. I said the same thing about the Battle of Adwa in Ethiopia. That Ethiopia, they were never colonized because they fought against Italians 3 times. Therefore, Adwa is not just a symbol of Ethiopian's power, but it's a symbol of Black power. It is the day that's supposed to be celebrated by the entire continent of Africa. Because as a Black man, we actually managed to stop colonization from happening in Ethiopia. I say that. I'm going to say the same thing for Rwanda with this Kwibuka. Kwibuka, it is supposed not only to be Rwandese National Day or Rwandese this day, like it's supposed to be the entire continent of Africa doing this, because we remember our people, what they went through. And we say we will never forget. And also we say never again. We reflect on our future by looking at the past, what happened, because the problem that Rwanda dealt with in 30 years ago is the same problem that Ethiopia is dealing with today, ethnicity. It's the same problem that a lot of countries in Africa is dealing today, in Congo. It's the same problem that in a lot of countries in Africa are dealing with today. If we cannot take a lesson from Rwanda, I am concerned. I am very concerned that yes, Rwanda might be in peace, but another country might go through that experience. And I'm telling you, you don't want to go through that. And some of the countries are going through that, right now. Right now, why don't we open our eyes and see? Perhaps we need to make this Kwibuka the continental remembrance of how we lost our people and why we lost them. This meeting that was done in this area called Urugwiro is something that is supposed to be remembered in Africa, because this is when Rwanda was changed for good in 1998 all the way to 1999 March. It changed the entire country and all these initiatives I'm talking about. And that's why I have high respect for His Excellency Paul Kagame. High respect. I don't care what you say about him. I have high respect. I look at this country, I see what is happening, and I have high respect. I have high respect. And I'm wondering that the strategy, let Rwanda be the study case for the entire continent of Africa. What Rwanda went through, a lot of African countries did not go through that. But look at where our countries are and look at Rwanda where it is. And you sit there, judge people. You sit there just accusing people. No. Be accountable. Now I understand. Now I understand why His Excellency always talk about accountability. Now I understand. Because you come here, these people, they actually put effort. And not only put, they are putting today, man. These people are serious. Guys, these people are serious. I told you guys, I'm coming here sometimes. I feel like I'm not in Africa because I've been in some of African countries. These people are serious, man. Guys, these people are serious. Everything means everything to them. When they get to do it, they do it with all of their heart. There's no chance to fail. There's no chance to give half. It is to give it all. And that's why I connect with this country, because this is how I think. I told you 10 years I lived in South Korea. If you know anything about South Korea, you know about excellence, you know about hardworking, you know about everything. And that is the spirit I have. And that's why I feel so privileged to be here, because I get connected not only with South Korea. This is non-African country. But I get connected with African country, and I feel the same thing that I felt there. These people are serious, guys. Stop talking. Talking is cheap. Talking is very cheap. Everybody talks. No. Show me your deeds. Show me your actions. Show me what you have done. Don't just talk. No. Show me what you've done. It's the time, to mute all the speeches that we see out there. If you talk, you don't do nothing, we mute your speech. Get out of here. Only talk when you do something. And Rwanda does that. So guys, I think my message is this to Africa. My message is that let Kwibuka be the continental remembrance. Remember how our people were taken down because of the issues that are still disturbing the continent today. And how can we move forward with that hope? By looking at Rwanda, what they've done in the past 3 decades, where they are today, and we could do the same thing as well in our countries. Learning from that and doing better for our countries. There's no reason to be jealous. We need to acknowledge enough what Rwanda's done. We're not acknowledging Africans. We're not acknowledging enough because we all think about my country, my country. I'm not remembering my country. No, forget about these borders, man. These are artificial borders. And they created it in order to divide us. The same thing happened to Rwanda. This genocide happened because they wanted to divide the people. And they succeeded. and you see the outcome of it. So today we are entertaining all these little borders. We fight with one another. Man, we are. Africa is one big family with 55 different children, 54 countries in the continent, that one diaspora all across the world. All right, we cannot keep fighting over these borders. We should learn from what has happened in some of the countries in Africa. We should not fighting against because of tribalism. We should learn what happened in Ethiopia. Listen, we should learn what happened in Rwanda. We could take that lesson. And before we get there, because Africa is bleeding with so much blood every single time. Every single time. Guys, we already lost a lot. We lost a lot. Millions of people. We lost a lot. It is the time for us to say never again. And enough is enough. No more wars, no more conflicts, no more all these tensions here and there. We are brothers, we are sisters. Let's come together. Let's learn from one another. Let's learn from Rwanda what they've done for the past 30 years. Africa, if we're willing to learn, we could use even the same initiative that Rwanda used for our countries. But I don't know if it is ego. It is pride. Man, if I was a president of a country, man, I will not feel prideful or egoistic. Not to ask His Excellency that, okay, what did you do? Okay, how can we do? That's why kudos to the president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore. He sent his troops here to Rwanda to actually learn the tactics and how can he choose to collaborate with Rwanda because of what Rwanda did to Mozambique. Rwanda helped Mozambique to fight against the terrorism there. And they capture back the city. This is how capable this country is. You might say it's small, but these guys, they're capable enough to do things that you can never think of. Burkina Faso sees that. What about the rest of Africa? Why don't we take these lessons? Why don't we take these lessons? Why? Why don't we take this evaluation that, you know what, think big, you know what, we need to unite our people. And the third one, you know what, we need to be accountable. Why? Why unity it seems like it's impossible. Why? I don't know, man. For me, I'll tell you the truth, man. I always think that simplicity is the best. And I always don't like complicating things. I see things the way it is. And don't complicate life. We are the one complicated. Life is just as simple as that. You do A, you get result B. You don't do A, you don't get result B. It's as simple as that. You plant mango tree, you're going to reap mango tree. You're not going to, reap avocado. No. You cannot expect to reap avocado if you plant the roots of hate among tribes, and then you expect to reap peace. No, development. No, man. Look at what these guys did before the country developed to where it is today. They had to have 1998 all the way to 1999 to think about 3 strategies: where we came from and what can we do. They wrote down the strategies, and they made a choice deep inside their heart that we're going to follow this no matter what. Let's go. Let's move forward. They went through it. Today, Rwanda is thinking about developing. Actually, it's developing. Look at the arena here, BK Arena. Look at the road. Infrastructure in this country is amazing. It's outrageous. Look at how clean this city is, man. You can eat chapati and ugali on the street. Look at how safe this is Africa, man. In Africa, walking around the street at 3 a.m. in the morning, without being scared of anything, no one. I actually tried the other day, walked around the street, and man, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm in Korea. That's what I felt. Korea is one of the safest countries. I keep comparing because there's so much similarities between Korea and Rwanda. So much similarities. So many similarities. So Africa, this Kwibuka is not only for Rwandese. I'm sorry, Rwandese, it's not only for you. I make it this personal, and I made a decision today. I made a choice that, I'm going to be so proud of this country. I'm going to be so proud of the achievement that happened here. I'm going to talk about it wherever I go. When I'm with my international friends, I'll be like, you know what, man, in Africa, this and this is what we do. Go to Rwanda to see what we have done. I'm going to be so proud because let me tell you this, man. I know the country I'm coming from, but I don't think about that. My mission is to unite Africa. Swahili nation, one Africa. The vision is to have one Africa in our generation. Why? Because we're so tired with all these borders. We're so tired with all this restriction. We're so tired with all this tribalism or all this region. We're so tired of that. We are one people. We are actually one people. When we get to learn about each other, we learn about history. We learn where we came from. We learn where we are. We learn where we want to be. Then you realize it. The vision of Africa, if we really want to be where we want to be, if we really want to develop, we need to come together as one people. Otherwise, there will be no future for Africa. Nyerere said in 1993, when he was in Accra, Ghana, without unity, there will never be a future for Africa. And it is simple as that. We've tried so many ways, but if we cannot try unity, then we're out of the picture. Kwibuka, it should be Africa's African Union. You should consider that this day in April, of course, it will be led by Rwanda, but it's supposed to be Africa's day. Remember what happened to our people, to reflect on where we want to go. You don't have to be jealous. We are all Africans. Most of you don't even know where I'm coming from. I realize that. Most of the people, they don't know where I'm coming from. You know, Ethiopians, they don't know, because I went to Ethiopia 5 times last year. Here in Rwanda, they don't know. Most of you don't know. I went to Zambia, they don't know. South Africa, they don't know. I went to Kenya, they don't know. I don't know. Why? Why is that? Why is that significant? I'm proud of my country. I'm proud of where I was born. But most importantly, I want Africa to be one. I want us to see each other as brothers and sisters. That's when we can share our struggle. The spirit of Ubuntu is still alive and well. We need to share our struggle. We need to share our cries, and we need to share our success. All right? But you cannot just want to share success and you do not share our struggle. That's why I'm talking about Kwibuka. It should be Africa's day. It should be Africa's day. Like the entire continent should be remembering this. 1 million Africans dying. More than 1 million Africans. That's not a small number. Within 1 month? No. If other international countries are recognizing that, acknowledging, why not Africa? Why not Africa? So let me finish by reading this tweet, what I said. All right, guys, by the way, I have so many videos from Rwanda. So you guys just stay connected, man. Stay connected with our YouTube channel, Swahili Nation. I'm going to be sharing there on TikTok here. Mika Chavala, X, everywhere, LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere. You just go there and this, like, how many minutes? I tweeted this at 9 p.m. today. I said this. I said this. I recently read about the historical genocide against the Tutsi, and I never thought I would be invited to the 30th anniversary of remembrance. It's amazing how God works in mysterious ways. After experiencing today, my love for this country has grown even stronger. That's true, man. I love this country, man. I love this country. I love this country like my own. That's how much I love this country. That's how much I love Africa. So for those who are telling me that, I don't even listen. My ears are closed. I'm like, you know what? As long as I'm an African, then I'm Rwandese, I'm Ethiopian, I'm Kenyan, I'm everywhere. It was as if I was transported back to 1994, and now I understand why Rwanda has become what it is today. It is not always about how you start a journey, but how you finish it. And that's look at Rwanda. That statement is so real for Rwanda. Under the leadership of His Excellency Paul Kagame, Rwanda made a vow to remember, made a vow to remember, to unite, and to renew their country from 1998 to March 1999 at Urugwiro. If Rwanda could do it, then the rest of Africa can do too. All right, listen to this. I also realized that we don't give Rwanda enough credit for its achievements. This is the climax of this conversation today. I realize we don't give enough credit to Rwanda for its achievement. And I have decided to be proud of Rwanda's accomplishment as they are Africa's achievements. That's the reason why I'm proud of this country. It's Africa. If it is Africa, whatever that is Africa, it's my business. It's my business. And then I finished with the prayer that may God continue to protect Rwanda, its leadership, and all Rwandese across the globe. Long live Rwanda, long live Africa. Amen. And hashtag never again, hashtag Kwibuka 30th. That's what I say. That's what I tweeted today, area. And that's what I believe in my heart. I think we don't give enough credit to Rwanda and its achievement. I think we're not giving credits enough to His Excellence, Paul Kagame. I think we're not giving enough credit to this country and what they've achieved. Because I'm telling you, man, the entire continent, let me tell you this, man, the entire continent has not achieved something like this. Some of the countries in the continent, since they fought for independence 60 years ago until today, they're still struggling with things that Rwanda is not struggling. 60 years, guys, 60 years. Rwanda, it had to go through this all over again. And within 30 years, look at where it is today. Some of the countries, 60 years, and yet you're not acknowledging what is happening in this country. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with you people. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I'm not in that category. I say no. I don't want to be part of that category. I don't. If you don't want to recognize that, if you criticize, then at least acknowledge. Because I'm not saying that you should just praise everything. No, you can criticize. It's okay. But I have a problem when somebody criticizes and do not acknowledge anything. I have a problem with that. Then I know something is fishy here. Why you're not acknowledging the progress that is happening in this country? Something that your country has not been able to do it. 60 years, most of the countries in Africa, 60 years receive independence. Yet you did not achieve even infrastructure. It's worse. You ride a car, every time you're like this. Huh. If you go a journey of 1 hour, you get there, you're dizzy, you have dizzy, some of them you faint, you're like this. Not only that, you ride in a car, man, you get, I wish I can show you guys one video. You ride in a car and then you get to your destination. It's as if you came from the jungle or you came from the cave. It's like you're a caveman because there's a dust all over your face, all over your hair, all over your clothes. You just need to do like this, the dust to go away. Some of our African countries, after 60 years of independence, what your leader have been doing in your country? What did they do? What they've been doing in your country? Then today you have a dance to point fingers. You're not even acknowledging the progress that are happening in this country. Come on, guys. We can't be these hypocrite Africans. We can do better. Let them point fingers at us, not us pointing fingers at each other. This is cheap game. It's cheap game. It is cheap game. I refuse to point fingers to my fellow Africans. I refuse to point fingers to other African countries. I refuse to point fingers. If you point one finger to somebody, these 3 fingers are pointing back at you. Come to Rwanda, see what Rwandese people did, see what His Excellence did, and then point fingers. I'm telling you, you will not have confidence to point finger. You'll be like, when you want to point, you'll be like, oh, me. That's when you realize that, man, we've been wrong for so long. And we kept, I say this, let me just finish by saying this, guys. What happened to Muammar Gaddafi? It was our fault, Africans. We sold him out. They wanted to take him down. NATO, US, France, they took him down in the national television, and we were watching and we were smiling and we were laughing. We sold him out. And they did that to him. We betrayed him. Look at what happened in Libya today. Obama himself, with his own word, he said this. One of the greatest mistakes he made, regret in his leadership, it was to kill Muammar Gaddafi. Because that country right now, and I feel responsible. I feel responsible what happened to them. I feel responsible because as an African, I was supposed to speak. Yes, I was young back then, but I was supposed to speak against it. But most of us, we celebrate it. Because you know what they do? They'll call them dictator, they'll call them this, and we'll be like, oh yeah, that's true. They'll come up with some useless stories, but because they have interest in that country, they had interest in that country. They knew that this country had oil. They knew that this country, man, we cannot let this, because this man, he has a vision to have a single currency in Africa. This man is supporting Africa, and we cannot let him. The people were living good life there. If you get married, you get $50. Which country did they give that money? Now the curse of Muammar Gaddafi in that country. They betrayed him. Whatever that is happening in that country, I'm telling you, because of that curse. We can never, I'm telling you, Africans, if you do not learn that lesson, then you have to realize this: we can never let anything like that happen in the continent ever again. Don't ever in your life side with them against your own people. Don't ever. Because you can only love others as much as you love yourself. If you're against with yourself, with your people, you're against with yourself. Let that be a lesson. And let us never go back there. I don't care. I don't care who is that leader in the continent. I don't care whether they do good or bad. I don't care. But when it comes to Africa and the rest of the world, Africa always should come first. Criticism against our leaders, we should always look deep inside. Let us criticize ourselves. But don't just agree with what they say, because they don't say it because they care for you. No, they say it because they hate you. They said it because they want to take over. They said it because they have interest on you. And when you agree on their agenda, because they always have agenda B. We cannot be that naive. We cannot be naive to that extent to think that they love us. No, there's no love. We prove over and over and over again. Look at these borders, then you know there's no love. Look at it. Then you know that, love. There's no love at all. Love Africa? Nobody loves Africa. No one loves Africa. Let me tell you this. No country loves Africa. Nobody loves Africa outside of this continent. Sadly, even ourselves, we don't love each other. We don't love each other. What the heck is wrong with us? We don't love each other. We don't celebrate each other. We don't celebrate others, people's success. We don't do that. Why? Why? That's why, okay, I'm going to talk to you Rwandese a little bit. That's why it seems like, oh, this guy is not even Rwandese. He's celebrating this much. Oh, we love you, we love you. No. This is supposed to be normal. You should not just decide to love me because I celebrate Rwanda. This is supposed to be normal for us because we are one people. Rwandese, Tanzanians, we are one people. Those borders there, those borders is what separate us. We're one people. One people. All of us. One people. We are one people. One people. We are one people, guys. Do you understand that? We are one people. I got in Tanzania, man. We have Congolese, we have Rwandese, we have Somalis, we have Ethiopians, we have South Africans, we have Malawis, we have Zambians, we have all of these guys, and they're in the country and they have their own tribes in the country. And all these tribes, if you look at it, okay, I went to Zambia. Zambia, basically, the first people who landed in Zambia, they are from Cameroon. And then you have you have Congolese, you have Angolas, you have these people. That country is actually the combination of the entire continent. The same thing to to Tanzania. The same thing to a lot of countries in Africa. We are one people. Me celebrating the success in Rwanda is celebrating my success as a black man, as an African, that we are able and we can do it. Now I have a hope. That lady that I'm working with who lost hope and she feels helpless and hopeless because of the continent and the events that are happening, she knows, and she's basically listening to this. Hear me out. If you lost hope, come to Rwanda before you decide to hang yourself. Come to Rwanda and see, because this is the land of possibilities. You come here and then you understand that it is possible. Everybody who is watching here, we have more than 360 people watching here. We have I don't know how many people on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. But yeah, here the software that I'm using here is connecting people straight from X and from here YouTube. Hey, X is 339 people watching from there. Yeah, so we have a lot of people watching there and a lot of people on YouTube. So if you're watching, please, for those who are not familiar with our YouTube, so in YouTube, my YouTube channel is not Kwizera Mugisha. My YouTube channel name is Swahili Nation. Go and watch that. You will understand what I'm saying. The work we're doing right now, we've been doing for the past 5 years. Go subscribe, because there's a lot of videos coming, long version of the short version you see on TikTok and X. They're actually on YouTube. Go sign up and don't just watch videos from your country. Watch the videos from other countries. Because one thing that I've learned is that I should always learn about the culture and the history of other country. If we want to be one, if we want to understand that we actually one people, you must know the history of other countries. Before coming here, I was in Zambia. I learned the history of that country and I was amazed. I was amazed because I met a lot of Rwandese, Zambians speaking Swahili. Some of you think I'm from Zambia. Some of your Rwandese, you think I'm from Zambia because I just came straight from Zambia and I was sharing videos from there. No, I'm not. Look, I'm from everywhere. I'm an African. So I'm from everywhere. Call me Zambian, call me South African, call me Kenyan, call me Tanzanian, call me Ugandan, call me Rwandese, Kwizera Mugisha. And my Ethiopian name is Haile Jesus. All right. I live in Korea, so I have, Korean name as well. I call myself Wankipum. And everywhere I go, I get, but Zambia, I forgot to get name in Zambia. And in South Africa as well. Yeah. So guys, please like, please subscribe. It's very important because this message we talk about is very important for our people to listen, to hear. I realize, man, this is what I realize. Man, I'm telling you, I'm going to be such an ambassador of Rwanda. I'm choosing myself today. I don't even want you guys to choose me. I don't want it. I am choosing myself. I'm going to be an ambassador of Rwanda to the continent of Africa. Because I don't care about the rest of the other world. No, I just want our people to understand. Because if anything is going to arise against a certain country in Africa, all Africans should come together. Because the peace in Rwanda is the peace of Africa. War in one country in Africa is the war in the entire continent of Africa. This should pain you. When there's something happening in your neighbor country there, it should pain you why it is happening there. And we should come together, all together, to bring about that peace. That's what I want. And for me, I'm not even talking about politics. I'm talking about just people as people. Because I know people, we don't have issues with one another. We love one another. We talk about this all the time. People, they don't have issues. There's tension politically, but people, we're good. We're good. That is my concern, to work with the people, to remind people that, guys, this is who we are. So I am today, officially, I am picking myself. I don't even need to be chosen. I'm an African. This is my right. All right? Rwanda is my country too. So I am choosing myself to be an ambassador of this country. My mission is to tell Africa what is in Rwanda and to tell Africa to come here to Rwanda to see, to experience for themselves before saying anything. I realize most of Africans, including myself, I was hesitant to talk about Rwanda for so long. I'll tell you the truth. The reason why I talk a lot of positivity about His Excellency Paul Kagame, even before I came here, this is the reason why. Because in my spirit, I just felt that. I just felt that. It's an instinct. I felt that and I spoke about it. I look at the situation and I said, no, something is wrong. Something is really off. And then I talk about it. And I'm coming here. Now I say, thank God. I listen to the Spirit. Thank God. Thank God. Because now I see. So now I can speak boldly, louder, without being afraid. And I'll tell you the truth, guys. I lost some of the followers. I lost subscribers on YouTube. Lost a lot of them. A lot of them who believe opposite to what I say. I lost them. Go there and look at the viewers. When I started talking about this, viewers just dropped down, went down. There's some people that don't agree with me, and I understand. That's okay. If we have the YouTube channel that have more than 370,000 subscribers, that our YouTube channel, more than 370,000 subscribers. You share a video, you barely get 1,000 viewers. And it started to happen when I started talking about Rwanda, Congo. When I started talking about that, it started happening. People, they do not agree. Most of them. And I understand, because I'm not here to be loved by everybody. I'm not here to be accepted by everybody. I understand the mission we are doing is not that simple. It's not us finding friends. You guys might hate me one day because of what I would say. Perhaps one day you might hate me because I'm real, man. I'm not fake. So I'm trying to be authentic with everything that is happening. We have to be brutally honest with ourselves if we want to see the change that Africa needs. The change that happened in Rwanda is because you guys were brutally honest with yourselves. You made a decision to make change. You made strategies. You made all this initiative, and now you are where you are because you were true to yourself. I am true to myself, and I'm always true wherever I go. Wherever I go. One of the people that I have like love and hate relationship most of the time are Ethiopians. because I will always defend this country, but I'll always be truthful. I'll always be truthful. So when you expect me to say I love you, I'll tell you I love you, and then I'll say something that you don't expect me to say. And then you'll hate me. So I've been receiving, unfollow and follow, unfollow and follow. When I talk about follow, yeah, unfollow, and I'm okay with that because we're not in the business of being followed. We're in the business of speaking the truth. Our mission, basically, the mission of Swahili Nation One Africa, this one, is to protect the heritage of Africa and to bring back all the heritage and the descendants of Africans back to the continent, those who just went. And also to decolonize the mind through authentic the history of Africa before colonization. Just going back to see how we lived, how we were, to be able to implement it today, and also to create a bridge for oneness and peaceful Africa. Those are the missions of Swahili Nation. The vision is toward a one Africa of solidarity in peace and love. And that is not from the top bottom, because I'm not a leader. I don't have any position. This is from the bottom up. I am focusing on people. I'm focusing on youth. I'm focusing on my fellow Africans to tell them that, guys, we are one Africa. Nigerians, East Africa, we are one Africa. We are one Africa. We are one people. All right. And first thing first, we are going through all these strategies, all this stuff, because our minds are still colonized. We don't have a white man here, but we are still there, back there. Okay. We should eradicate that with authentic knowledge of Africa before colonization. And I'm here in Rwanda learning the history of Rwanda, what they did. This is what exactly Kagame did. He went back, values of the country they saw. What caused us to be where we are? It is because we let go of our culture and we held on to lies and we started to kill one another. Okay, let's go back to our values. This is the most important thing. We're no longer going to talk about tribes. We're going to talk as one people. I love the motto of Zambia. It says, Zambia, one people, one nation. One nation, one people. That is the motto of Zambia. If you have a motto like that, do you think your country is going to be divided? But you have countries in Africa that their motto based on ethnicity. What do you expect? You will never have peace in that country. Never. We should learn these things. Man, God loves us so much. He loves us so much. I know when we go through all these tragedies, we feel like, God is not there for us. He's not there with us. But man, God loves us so much because we have evidence, we have lessons, things that we must learn. We see, read the history of Rwanda, read the history, understand it. We are losing so many people in this continent uselessly. People are just dying and dying and dying daily because of our ignorance of who we are as a people. I'll finish by saying this. In order for youth, in order for us Africans to be where we are supposed to be, we need to be able to answer these 5 questions. The first one is, who are you? The question of who are you is the question of your identity. What is your identity as a Rwandese, as a Tanzanian, as an Ethiopian? Who are you? If you answer that, and I'm looking at Rwandese history, they answered that. They had to ask themselves in that meeting, 1998, 1999, who are we? The second question, where are you from? Where are you from is basically us knowing our source. Where are we coming from? Not, oh, I'm coming from Tanzania. Oh, I'm coming from Rwanda. No. Where are you really coming from? No, where? Because most of us, we're not really from where we're from. So where are you from? What is your source? And that's why I told you earlier about we are human being. Human being created by God. We would not exist here by coincidence, man. I don't believe in that. I believe in God. I love Christ. I'll always talk about that openly. I'll be open with my faith. We're a human being created by God. That is our source. So if you think about that, then you see everybody in the same category. That's why all this white supremacy or racism, it's wrong, because we are all human beings created by the Almighty God. Regardless, you're black, you're yellow, you're blue, you're green, you're dark, whatever you are, it doesn't matter, man. God created you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. So it doesn't matter, even if you resist me against whatever you say, like, you're kind of a little bit dark. This dark is not beautiful. It doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything to me because I know who I am and I know where I'm coming from. And that gives me confidence to say what I say and to live the life I'm living today because I know where I'm coming from. I'm coming from above, man. All right. So we must ask ourselves these questions: that where are we from? These are not just questions to succeed as Africans, as a country, but as individual. If you cannot answer this question, you will never be successful in whatever career or in your school. You never. Who are you and where are you from? The third, why are you here? Why are you in that company? Why are you in that school? Why are you in that family? Why are you in that country? Why are you in that organization? Why are you there? This is the question of your purpose. So we have identity, we have source, and we have purpose. Why are you here? What is your purpose? What is your purpose? What is your purpose? In that company, are you just there to earn money? That's it? Just earn money at the end of the month, and then you go again, all the way you are 60, and then you retire, you go to countryside, that's it? You are just there to get money? When I asked myself this question when I was in Korea, I quit the job I was doing. I graduated, I was employed, really nice job. I was paid at that time, it was 2019, 2019, I was being paid like $3,000, almost $3,000 every single month. After 9 months, when I asked myself this question, I quit the job. I walk away. I lost my visa. I lost all the insurances. I lost all the benefits I was having, the bonuses. I lost everything. I walked away and I did not have plan B because I asked myself this question: why am I here? Then I realized I'm not here to make money because money does not satisfy me. I need to do something that can leave a legacy. I need to do something that I know I do for my people. I walked away from the company. And then my life went all the way to down. I started from the scratch. 2019, it was December 24th. It was one day before Christmas. That's when I started Swahili Nation YouTube channel. I started Swahili Nation, and then 2020 January, COVID came. When COVID came, I started 1 month before it came, so everybody went on YouTube, and the YouTube just grew up like this. Within a range of 1 year, I was more than 100,000 subscribers. Timing. I did not know COVID was gonna come, but when I asked myself, why am I here? And then I realized I'm not here for money. So I was ready to sacrifice. I studied economics. So we have this one term called opportunity cost. So opportunity cost, you think about, what you're doing right now, what kind of cost do you have, what kind of benefits do you have? And then if you want to pass exam, then you let go of your sleep. You start all the way to midnight to make sure that you pass that exam. So your opportunity cost of passing the exam is leaving sleep. I left. And the life was hard, man. I was hit so bad because you start YouTube, you don't earn nothing. In the range of 1 year, I was eating ramen. Ramen is like noodles every single day. Noodles in that, I don't know how much in Rwanda's money, but noodles, it was very cheap. So every single day eating noodles for 1 year. Man, 1 year, me and my best friend, this guy, Nigerian one, we lived 1 year like that. But God is good. Just after asking, why am I here? Today, in Rwanda. Fast forward 4 years later, almost 5 years later, I'm here in Rwanda being invited because of the work that I'm doing. Otherwise, I'll be miserable right now in that company there where I was if I did not ask myself, why am I here? All right. That third question, your purpose. Fourth question, what can you do? This is the question of your potential. What can you do? Who are you? Where are you coming from? Why are you here? What can you do? Your potential. If you answer, who are you? Then you'll be able to answer, where are you from? Then you'll be able to answer, why are you here? Then you'll be able to answer, what can you do? A lot of people are struggling with this question, why are you here? The purpose. They don't know their purpose. But perhaps you're struggling with your purpose because you do not answer, who are you and why are you and where are you from? If you answer these two questions, you'll be able to answer what, I mean, why you're here, your purpose. And then the fourth one is, what can you do? Your potential. Your potential. You got to be honest with yourself. Don't force yourself to do things that you cannot do. No. Of course, you have to think big. You have to, you know, people, they say sky is my limit. But for me, sky is not my limit. I feel like sky is closed, because I've been riding on a flight for a long time. And when you ride on that flight, you know, you go beyond those clouds, and then you see, you're like, okay, I can actually get there too. People went to Mars and everything. They pass through that sky. If they say sky is my limit, they will never go to Mars. They're going there because they don't believe in that. Don't limit yourself. Don't be in these little boxes. Africans, Rwanda, they proved that. We cannot limit ourselves that, you know, Africa is the third world country. That is the topic of another day. That is the lie. Africa is the third world country. Africa is the same world that US, that China, that whatever we're living. We have the single world that we are all living. We're here. But they make you believe that is the third world country so that you may think less of yourself, so that you may think that I need to go to United States to you know, to make out in life. I need to go to Canada. I need to go here to make. No, you can make it here in Rwanda, because this is the land of possibilities. You can make it in Africa because this is the land of possibilities. It doesn't matter whether you have crappy leadership or you have good leadership. It doesn't matter. You can make it happen if you take those three strategies. Three strategies, and you answer these questions. What can you do? The last question, the final question, you need to be honest with us to answer. Where are you going? The question of your destiny. I got to acknowledge, I got these questions from Maris Monroe. Where are you going? The question of your destiny. Rwanda, they answer, they did that. That's why I love this country, man. I read this book of Maris Monroe. I listened to his sermon so many times. And then I'm coming here to Rwanda. I'm listening to this history, and I'm reading this history. And then I realized that these guys, they answer the question of who they are. They answer the question of where they're coming from. They remember Rwanda before genocide to be able to make the decision, you know what, we can unite our people. We are one people. Yes, this ugly thing happened, but you know what? We're one people. Let's come together. Let's rebuild the country. Let's unite. Let's remember. Let's unite. Let's renew. They answered this question. That's why Rwanda is here where it is. This is not, it's not a miracle. Let me tell you this. What happened to Rwanda is not a miracle. People, they did not go to fast and pray for this to happen. Yes, they fasted. Yes, they prayed, but also they work. They sacrifice themselves day and night to make sure that these things are happening. You can't just fast and pray and believing in faith that is happening. No, faith without action is dead faith. In order for faith to work, you need to put on actions. These guys, they worked. They worked. They're still working. His Excellency Paul Kagame has been in the regime, you know, for over 20 years, but he works as if he came yesterday. Do you understand that? That's why I'm surprised. You have leader only 5 years in the regime, and then they work as if they've been working for forever in life. They don't even do nothing. You have somebody that's been that long, but he's working as if he's never been there in the regime. That's why these people, they love it. Some people, you have a distance to make noise. Democracy. No. We Africa, we have our own democracy. Get your democracy out of here. We have our own democracy, and we decide what we want. If people want him to be the president, he will be president for life. People, they want it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? People want it. So what are you going to do? People decided this is their country. This is their country. Okay, not their country. This is our country because I'm Kwizera Mugisha. This is our country. If we want it, who are you to say no? Who the heck are you? Who the heck are you to say no? No, this is our country. This is our country. We're going to decide what we want to do with our country. Don't come and decide for us. Because there's some hypocrisy out there. Democracy. Is that democracy in your country? Democracy. That's not democracy. Anyways, guys, so well, let me see here, because there's a lot of comments. I did not even read one comment. Well, let me appreciate everybody who is joining and everybody who is here. And appreciate you guys for coming here. Okay. These are so many questions. I mean, so many messages. Kwizera Mugisha. That's me. I appreciate for your super chat, Marie. Thank you so much. One Africa, move forward. Remember, unite, renew, and be excellent. Exactly. This is the year of excellence. That's what we got to do. Where are you going? What is your destiny? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so guys, this is what I'll say. I already promised you that this is gonna be the final talk of these five different questions that you should ask yourself. If you ask yourself these questions, then you know the answer of these questions. You know what exactly to expect. You know what exactly to come about. You know what will come about, right? So Rwanda, I will have a lot of things to talk about Rwanda, and I think I'll talk for a while. I'm still wrapping up my head around this country, and there's a lot of videos that are yet to come. You guys will be able to see them, and I just be ready for them. Be ready for them. What you can do is, subscribe on our YouTube channel and follow on our page, Mika Chavala, and our official Swahili Nation as well, because all of this will be sharing on our pages, and I hope you guys will be able to see and to enjoy all of them. All right. Yeah, do that. My passion is for Africa. My passion is for one Africa. Right now, I'm in Rwanda, and we're going to talk about Rwanda until the world hears it, until everybody understands it. Everything I learn, I promise my community will know about it, whether they want it, whether they don't want it. Yeah, we were created for this mission, so we're going to do it until the last day. All right? Until the last day, we're going to do it. Sadeke, I'll get back to you. Don't forget, we're waiting for you in Angola. It's amazing. I can't wait to come there. Our vision is to go to all 54 countries and to do what we do here. All right. And this is the time for Rwanda. And Rwanda just captured my heart. And I got to be honest with you guys, man. I was thinking today, I remember when I was going to Ethiopia. I love Ethiopia so much, guys. And some people they felt like I was doing favoritism to Ethiopia. But to be honest, I can't lie. To be honest, I can't lie. There's one thing I cannot do. If I go to a place and then I experience the place, I experience the culture, and that's what I will share. That I'll only share what I experience, right? And I'm here in Rwanda, I experience that. I'll share that what I experience. And I hope you guys, you take every good thing you think you see, to embrace it. One thing that is always disappointing is that when you come a place like this, Rwanda, then only people will be interested in those content will be people from Rwanda and not otherwise. They're waiting until you go to their country. And if you go to another country, these people, then they're not going to be interested in that day. No, come on, man. You already know people. The reason why they don't even know my country, because I don't even talk about my country. Not because I don't love it. I love my country enough, and I know a lot about my country. But I know for me, it's the time to understand other countries as well. That's why people are criticized that why Swahili Nation, you're not using Swahili. If I use Swahili, you guys will not be listening here because you'll understand nothing. You're not going to connect with me. I must use this. Yes, I'm African. I love Africa. I believe in one Africa, but I use this so that you guys can understand what I'm saying. And that's why I talk a lot about other countries, because actually that's how I learn. When I talk about Rwanda, you guys tell me a lot about Rwanda. You comment and I go through your comments. I read, I learn. I'm here right now. I'm learning. I'll go maybe to another country, I'll learn, this is what happened all the time, right? So let's try to learn about other countries. So I challenge you today, in this year, try to know at least 5 countries in Africa. This year is very little. Every single month, know 1 country in Africa. Know in detail. Try to understand that country in detail. Try to study. Try every single month. Choose 1 country, pick 1 country, try to understand, read the history and all the stuff, because knowledge is power. And I think, we were colonized because of knowledge. We did not really know about our continent. We did not really know about our people. And so we're colonized and we're killing one another because of that knowledge. But if you know that we want people, and where we're coming from, why are we here, what can we do, where are we going, those questions, then you're not going to act the same way you're acting right now. I'm not talking to you guys who are watching right now. I'm talking to those who are not watching here. They're not here. All right. So did you already subscribe to the channel? Did you already like the channel? Swahili Nation. If you did not do that, I'm not ending. 44 people we have watching from YouTube, and 438 people watching from X. It's a lot of people. You people on X as well, you can like, you can repost, you can comment. Yeah, I really appreciate. Okay, I really appreciate. All right, guys. So guys, I want to appreciate. I'll be coming back here again for another stream to talk about I'm still digesting about Rwanda, man. So I want tomorrow as well to come here to talk about again lessons from Rwanda, because all these things I said, I'm gonna be talking about them for a while, for our people to catch up. So I think another time I'll just come to really go in detail, in deep, to talk about this Urugwiro meeting that happened between the president of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, and other of the elites. Come talk about it, because I feel like young people, we need to know these things. We need to know what happened, what went down back then, and we need to. I'm concerned about the future of Africa, and I think this is the time for us to equip ourselves with the knowledge and to look at what our leaders did right, and you can see achievement of Rwanda. So basically, something has been done right in this country. So we look at that, we learn, and then we start thinking about projecting Africa in 50, Africa in 1 year to come, 100 years, Africa in 1,000 years, Africa in 100,000 years to come. Where do we want to be, right? I believe we are going to change this continent. If people like His Excellency Paul Kagame changed Rwanda to where it is today with the people of the entire country, because it takes two to mingle, right? It takes two to tango, to mingle, something like that. If that is the case, then we need to we need to learn about this stuff. So perhaps I'll come back to talk about this. And I think in that stream I would like to have some Rwandese people here. I'd like to have some Rwandese people that we're gonna go and talk about these strategies, because I want these strategies to be known across the continent of Africa. Am I allowed? Of course, man. These things. I want Africa to know these things. Umushikirano, Abunzi, Itorero, Gachachakot, Imihigo, Abunzi, Umuganda, Abudehe, and Girinka. I want my people to know these things, and then they can decide for themselves. The current leaderships might not want to adapt it, but you know what? One day when we become leaders, we'll adapt them. As simple as that. Because you see, this is working in this country. Health care in this country, in Rwanda, is one of the best. You understand that with S, best. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it best in Africa. We met with the Minister of Minister of Health. And man, that guy is very smart, man. That guy is really smart. I envy this country, man. Minister of Health is Dr. something. The guy is really smart. And apparently he speaks Swahili. I went to greet him and I was like, His Excellency, I really love what you say. Love it. And I thought it was done. So he went He went a little bit farther, and then he turned back. I was like, "Where are you from?" So I'm from Tanzania, and then we started to speak Swahili. I was like, "Wow, down to earth people, down to earth people, man." You talk to a leader like you're talking to your fellow brother. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be. You meet with the leader, you're scared as if you committed, you committed crime or something. No, come on, man. It's a human being that we want to learn from. All right. That's why I asked that interview with His Excellency, because these are things that I'm impressed with. I'm impressed with these things. Why can I talk about it? Let me say this: I'm not a professional journalist. That's not even my career, but I have passion for Africa. So, if these conversation, that's why I don't call it interview, I call it conversation. If conversation it can be done by a fellow African, then I am one of them. I need that conversation. Yeah, because our people need to know this. If our leaders are not paying attention to this, to adapt this, the entire continent of Africa, we youth, we are paying attention. We as Swahili nation, One Africa, we are paying attention. We want our people to know these things. That's why I want to ask those personal questions, because these things has to do something with the character of a person. You don't just pretend to do all this stuff if you were not born with some sort of whatever, foundation and desire to make change. So the desire and the dream I had, it was to help people. So when I was going to Korea, I was sharing this, that here, I just want to help people. So I was thinking about working with NGO, because I was thinking that NGO is going to help people. I end up in the company working for 9 months, and then I realized that, why am I here? I was like, okay, I'm not supposed to be. I walk away because I was not helping people as much as I thought. And I started doing this. And here we are today, 5 years later. God is good. We praise God for everything. I pray for this country of Rwanda, that the peace that is in this country will be sustainable on all the enemies of this country that I am right now, Rwanda. Succeed. God has chosen this country to be a case study to the rest of Africa. And I acknowledge that, because I'm not naive, but I see the hand of God, and I see the commitment, discipline, effort that these fellow Africans, these fellow my brothers and sisters, they put on to realize, to actualize their visions and dreams and the vision of this country. So God, I pray that this country will live long enough for the entire continent of Africa to come here, to learn, to study, to see for themselves, to go back to their countries and to make difference, to go back to their companies and to make difference, to go back to their families and to make difference. Thank you, God, for being here with us. Thank you for this session. Bless every single person that I've been watching and listening to this. I know some of them are bored. Some of them, they got something. Whatever that has happened, I give you all the glory and honor and praise for this moment, for this time. What a time to be alive. And thank you for bringing me here. Bless this government, bless its people, and bless the next generation, and bless the youth. In your precious name I pray. Amen. Guys, thank you. I love you. We always keep God first before anything. So we always start with prayer and end with prayer. And God above everything. If you see the logo of Swahili Nation, if you're on YouTube, you'll see the logo. That logo, the biggest line above it all, it represents God. God above everything. We put God before anything. God after everything. God in the middle of everything. That's what we do. So we are that kind of Pan-Africanism people, People, they always kind of like differentiate between Pan-Africanist, and they ask me this a lot. You're Pan-Africanist and you talk about Jesus? Man, I love Jesus and I love Africa. You know what I'm saying? I do that. Right? So we always start with that and we end with that. And I think that's the reason why we're still here, because God has something to do with this continent, and it's not going to happen miraculously. We need to put on effort. We need to work. We need to do something. And that's why we work so hard. For the past 4 days, I slept for like 3 hours because of the work and because of what we are doing. And I think maybe until I leave, then I'll be able to rest. But a luta continua. And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for all the love received from Rwanda. You guys are amazing. Nah, Mugisha Amakuru. Hey, hey, hey. Amakuru, Amakuru, everybody. Amakuru. Nitwa Kwizera Mugisha. That's how I need to end this stream. So when I say that at the end, I'm done. Kwizera Mugisha. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Appreciate for everybody who has been here. For those who did not subscribe, please do so. We have also membership on YouTube channel. That helps actually the work we are doing, right? We have like the rest of 54 countries to visit and to go. So if you go on our YouTube, you'll see a membership link in every description of our video. You can join there. If you have ability to do that, do that. So if you don't have, it's okay. You can just like, you can subscribe, you can share these videos with your neighbors. It helps us. It helps the logarithm of YouTube to be recommended here and there. So when you put the like on our videos, it's support, whether on TikTok, on YouTube, or on X, or on Instagram. Even though X, we don't, there's nothing get there. Instagram, there's nothing get there. But if you do that, it helps us actually to do that. So help us, help to raise this awareness. And Rwanda, I just love you, man. I love you with all my heart, and I love you, Africa. And I hope the guys who are not in Rwanda right now, you're outside, I hope you can feel Rwanda, because that is what I want you guys to experience. I'm here on behalf of you, but you need to come here as well. And I want you guys to experience Rwanda as much as I experience. That's why I speak with passion. That's why I share my heart of what is happening in here, because I want you guys to experience what I experience. I receive a lot of messages. A lot of people wants to come to Rwanda right now because of these videos, because of what we're doing. So visit Rwanda. You should think about it. Perhaps I should be wearing something like, Arsenal, visit Rwanda everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You should think about it. Yeah, because a lot of people reached out. They want to come to Rwanda. They want to come. A lot of them. So, oh my God, we want. Oh my God, we want. I'm like, oh yeah, come and experience, come and learn. All right. So yeah, I mean, it's up to you guys, whatever you want. But we're doing our mission, and we don't expect anything in return. We do what we do, what we are called to do. Why are we here? That's the question. Why am I here in Rwanda right now? I know why I'm here, and that's why I do this. So why are you there? Do you know that? All right. For those who might be asking for, for some of the links, you guys can go through our description, the description on our videos. You'll be able to find those links. Yeah, people from Instagram, I appreciate you guys. Instagram, Mika Chavala. We had some people there watching. I appreciate you guys. Here on YouTube, man, we have 510 people watching. That has been a while to see that number. 478 on X people watching right now. I love you guys. Sending love to you. Now, how do I end these things? You guys are tempting me to stay here longer. All right, so I'll receive a few questions before I leave. I'll receive a few questions. Please get some rest, young man. Definitely. I will. When you're in a battlefield, you need to finish a battle before you go to rest. There's something I need to share with you. Okay, people from TikTok, just hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. I want to share with you something here. Okay, I'm receiving a question. So if you have any question, I'm going to answer them before I leave. Okay, let me share. I'm going to share with you guys this one. I spoke about battle, and then I remember something I saw last week. So if you have any question, write down the question. I'll take a few questions, and then I'll be getting out of here. And I promise you that I'll be honest. I know people, they don't really believe sometimes, but I'm very honest, guys, with everything I say. All right, I'll take a few questions. All right. So I say this, that I appreciate my sister Renea. Please get some rest, young man. But I've learned this. When you are in a battlefield, like especially when we're in this mission visiting Rwanda or country, we are in a battlefield, and there's 7 to 8 rules of battle. The first one, it says that don't fight every battle, choose your battle. Battles, they'll always come towards you, but you need to be wise enough to choose which one is your battle and which one is not your battle. Second, a good general is the one who wins without fighting. So first, choose your battle. But the good general is the one who wins without fighting. If there's a possibility for you to win a battle without fighting, do that, because it reminds me the war between Russia and Germany. Yes, Russia, they won that war, I believe, but they lost a lot of people. The casualties that happened in that country, people that died, there were a lot more, even though they won the battle. But that's what happened. That means in every battle, all of you guys lose. There's no winner in the battle. No winner in the battle. You know that. No winner. Because even the one who wins, lose. Okay, the third principle of battle is that even the one who won the battle, there's a negative effect of a war. So that's the one I was talking about. Fourth, fight only when it's necessary. Choose your battle. A good general is the one who wins without fighting. And even the one who wins still have the consequences. Number four is fight only when it's necessary. You don't need to fight everything. You don't need to reply to everything. And this, I think, Rwandese, you guys are the best example to that. People attack, but you just stay silent. And we other people will talk. Why? Because we're experiencing it, right? So fight when it's only necessary, all right? The fifth principle of battle, fight only if it is the only means at the time. So you don't just go to fight. No, you fight when you know that battle is the only means at a time to win your objective. So you have your objective. Why am I going to fight? Is this fight necessary? All right. Can I win this battle without fighting? Okay. If I'm going to fight, obviously I'm going to lose some people, so I lose. Is it necessary this battle to fight? And is there any other way or means to earn my objective without fighting? You ask yourself those questions. The other rule of a battle is that don't go on a battle without a reason. You need a concrete reason. Don't just go. Because if you go without a reason, you're going to fail that battle. The reason why Vietnamese and United States war, Vietnam, they won against that war because they had nothing to lose. They were fighting for their lives. They were fighting. They had nothing to lose. That's the reason why they won. Even though that battle, it seems like, they lost a lot of people, but they had nothing to lose. The reason, it was like, okay, we either die fighting. That was the only option, actually, to die fighting. There's no other option there. Okay, the seventh rule, if it is necessary to fight, fight until you win. So you see these 6 rules of the battle. If you decide to go into fight, then fight until you win. Oh, my network is not good. People from the TikTok, they're struggling. I don't know why. Okay, let me see here. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so fight until you win. If you decide to fight, then you must fight until you win. If you don't win, don't fight. If you know that this battle I'm not going to win, don't. When you get into the war, okay, you cannot. When you get in the war, you need to fight until you win. There's no coming back. So it's either you win or you die. Yeah, those are the only options. That's what I wanted to say. It's either you win or you die. There's no other option. When I knew that I was born to unite Africa, I made a decision that I'm going to unite Africa with everything I got. There's no other option. My career is something else. I'm not doing my career. I left my career. I left job. I left everything. And I immersed myself in what I do. Full-time job, even though I had nothing. Oh, I have nothing. If you go on a battle, you either win or you die on a battlefield. That's number 8. When it comes to the fighting, you fight until the end. You either die at the battlefield or you win. That's why I say choose your battle. And a good general is the one who wins without fighting. Even the one who wins loses. Fight only when it's necessary. Because if you just go without fight when you have a reason, you go in a battle when you have a reason. You must have a reason to fight. If there's any other way to find win without fighting, go after that. Because if you go in a battle, then there's no coming back. You either die or you win. You fight until your last breath. Right. So I was answering that my sister Renee that right now I'm in a battlefield. When you go on these missions, and I think this one it has been the heavy one because we just came from Zambia. But when you're in a battlefield like this, then you need to fight until the end, and then you will enjoy when you come back home. Like you just regroup a little bit, and then you go back to the battlefield again. Group a little bit, you go back. All right, let me see if there's any question here, and then I'll be getting out of here. Oh yeah. Oh, Marie, say, have you been to some of the memorial sites? Um, Actually, until right now, I've not been in the genocide memorial site yet. I haven't been there because since we got here, we we had events until today, and tomorrow we're gonna have another event. So I think in order for me to finish this country, I need to stay here for a month, minimum a month. Then I'll be able to go almost all places. But this time, I think like it might be, yeah, it seems like I might be leaving. Anyways, so I think that you'll always come back here. It's not the last time. It's home now. It is home, guys. It's home now. Rwanda, it's my home. Genevieve, it's good to see you. I appreciate the excellence you put into this channel. The graphics are real good, the thumbnail and everything. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Wow, that's a good message. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. This is a collective work, and I appreciate my team. Rwandese people, you guys, you might not know this, but we have actually a Rwandan in our team. I've been working with this guy for 3 years without seeing each other. I started to work with him when I was in Korea, when we had just very small channel. I met him yesterday here for the first time. I came to Rwanda and then I surprised him that, hey, I am here. I shared the video in our YouTube. You can check it out. I've been working with this guy for 3 years. His name is Patrick Nshima. We've been working together for 3 years, and we never met. We never met face to face. Can you imagine? 3 years. He's Rwandese. So guys, this is my family. I've been working with the Rwandese guy for 3 years. We never met. Actually, this is the fourth way. We never met for 3 years. He's been doing graphic. He's been doing thumbnails. Right now, he even does, some of the titles. He does him. And look at that. We came from very far. And he knows. And I came to realize this. That's why me and him work really well. Because, his mind is like, Rwandan. They think about excellence. I think about excellence. I think about details. I'm a detail-oriented person. We think about that all the time. And so we just work together like this. So good. For some reason, yeah, there's something. And also, okay, I don't know if I can say this, but also, I don't just have one actual Rwandan in the team. I have another Rwandan. Somebody who a long time ago, he's Rwandese basically, but he has nationality of Tanzania. But actually came with him. He's right here. I did not know when we started to work together. It just happened. God connected us, and then it happened that one day I found out that him and Patrick, they speak in Kinyarwanda. I was like, you guys, I don't understand what you're talking about. And I realized that it's crazy. I've been working with them for 3 years. That is actually the top team, the people that I'm working with. Kenyan, I have this, Rwandan, Tanzanian. I have Rwandan. I have Kenyan. I have South African. That's like a top team where we're working together. So it's incredible. It's incredible that God was writing this story for a long time, even before I came here to Rwanda. Now I see. So I've been loving this country a long time, even without knowing. Like God was just directing me to come here for some reason. Yeah. All right. So you guys seems like you. Oh, let me see other places. Perhaps you guys ask questions at some other places. Yeah. Okay, okay. All right. So you guys, you don't have questions. I appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate that you stayed here for all this time to witness and to enjoy this. All right. I promise I'll be back here again another time to share with you guys some of the things that you don't know yet about Rwanda. And it's going to be amazing. Let's keep learning. Let's keep growing. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. So we should stay hungry. We should keep learning. Go back, watch our videos. We released the speech that His Excellency Paul Kagame made today. It's one of the powerful speeches I've ever seen. Please go and watch and listen. Listen word after word. It's kind of like 44 minutes long. We're uploading on, but you must listen. This speech touches everyone. Check it out. Some of the videos that we're ready to release here in Rwanda, and there's more, many more. We have a lot that will be releasing through our YouTube channel, Swahili Nation, and TikTok, Mika Chavala, X Mika Chavala, Facebook, Mika Chavala, Instagram, Mika Chavala, LinkedIn, Mika Chavala, everywhere, Mika Chavala. Yes. Kwizera Mogisha. Appreciate, guys. I love you. See you. I will leave you with something. I'll leave you with something to understand what we are doing more. Okay, right here. Let's go. Right here. Let's go. Bye-bye, guys.
So the lie began from the very beginning of time, right? And I can ask you one question right now. What does history tell you about Africa? Who discovered Africa? If you write right now on Google who discovered Africa, you find out that is one white man that he came and discovered Africa. And you can ask yourself that how can you discover a place that already exists? How can you discover a place that people already live in that place? It is impossible, but that's what the history tells us. That's what people believe about Africa, that it was discovered by a white man. This guy, he came and then he went back, he gave a report, and then the next we know is colonialism, because those guys, they sat somewhere to divide Africa like a piece of cake because they discovered it, they own it, it belonged to them. But that is us. We discovered, we're the first people to know. And today you have a lot of people around the world that they think that Africa was discovered by them.
First of all, I think every African should be doing what I do, like everybody, because of who we are, right? We're African. We should love Africa. You know, when I went to South Korea, I realized that Africa is being perceived and viewed very different. I realized that, well, the media, what I see on TV, what people talk about Africa, even my friends, they don't really know about it. It's very negative. It's very negative. That was 2013, and I was like, I must change this. So I started actually there in South Korea. I started to go to schools, to like elementary school, like kindergarten, elementary, middle school, high school. I started to go there. That was like my part-time job. I went to, like in Korea, I went to every single city in Korea. I went everywhere in that country, and I was going to these schools. One day I went even close to North Korea. Like there's this one place called Paju. It's just next to North Korea. Like you see North Korea is there, South Korea is here. I went there and I went to kindergarten. These little kids, and these little kids, when they see you, some of them, they start to cry. They just see you, ah! They say, why are you crying? So I was like, why are you crying? So they're scared. These are little kids, but that's what they have been seeing on TV. That's what, like, sometimes some of them, even their parents teach them like that. What we're trying to do is we're trying to build a new system that is for Africans, it's for us, a new system that it will support us, it will challenge authorities here in Africa, right? And it will challenge as well, it will defend and protect the image and heritage of Africa, right, from outsiders, Westerners, Easterners, and to build pretty much a new system, because before colonialism we had a different system, right? During colonialism we had a different system. After that we're still struggling with this system, right? And our forefathers like Haile Selassie, Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, Kaunda, and so many others, they tried to build a new system after colonialism that unite all Africans, right, to become one. And they did their parts, right? And you know, now they're gone. Nobody's here right now. So it's our responsibility right now, as you know, the sons of Africa, to actually carry on with that move and that fight. And that's what One Africa is standing for. One Africa is not about me personally, but it's about us.
My name is Mika Lucas Chavala, and I was born a leader. My mission to this earth, it is to unite my people. When I look at my life from the very beginning of time until right now, every single thing that I've done, every single place that I went, and every single mission that I've accomplished, it has always been about unity. And even right now, I know that the fight that our forefathers like Mwalimu Nyerere started a long time ago to unite our people, I can still carry on today until the end of time. That's why I'm here, because it's very important to learn about the past, what our forefathers has done to inspire us to work toward the future. Back in the days, they didn't have internet, but still they accomplished a lot. Today we have everything we have, every means possible. And even right now, my organization is what I do with Swahili Nation One Africa Foundation, is uniting my people inside the continent and outside the continent. We always say that Africa is one big family with 55 different children, 54 countries in Africa, and one diaspora all across the world. The unity is very crucial for our progress. Just like J.K. Nyerere said, without unity there is no future for Africa. And we as a youth, we're the leaders of today and the leaders of tomorrow. It's about surviving. And without unity, we cannot really have the future for our children and the next generation.
So Africa, a place where poverty and pandemic diseases are originated, the least wealthy continent per capita, the land where the only things to be found are animals, corrupted leaders, poor kids, dirty water and civil wars, people who are in need for help, donations and support, aka the NGO's motherland. For others, honestly, Africa is just a very hot, dark and sad place everyone wishes to escape one day. Well, whether you're an African or not, this thinking isn't new to you, because you have read, heard or felt the same way before. Just type the word Africa on Google right now. Turn on your TV and see what the NGOs portray. Watch movies from Hollywood. Ask your mama, friends, or ask yourself, what is Africa? Yet if you're still struggling to believe, let me ask you this. What comes to your mind when you hear the word Africa? Tell me the first thought that comes to your mind right now. Honestly, tell me right now. But what really is Africa? What is Africa? Listen,
There are many theories about the name, but one that is close to the truth is Al-Kebulan. This name translates to Mother of Mankind, or according to other sources, the Garden of Eden, the place where love, peace, and unity dwells. Al-Kebulan is an extremely old word. Many nations in Africa use this word, including Ethiopians, Nubians, Moors, and Numidians. For me, this isn't just the theory, but the truth. My truth I choose to believe in. As cliche as it sounds, that's the future I'm hoping for. The tomorrow I'm fully determined to see. The dream I am convinced and dedicated to fighting for until it happens. What is Africa for you? A journey to one Africa.
Why do I love Africa? I love Africa because I'm African. There is no one else to love Africa except me. There's no one else to protect Africa, to defend Africa, except me, because I'm African. It's my pride, it's my heritage, it's my nature, it's in my blood. I have African blood in me. We might be speaking different languages, we might be like wearing different clothes. Today I look like Habesha here. We might be eating different food, but the fact that you're African and I'm African, I love you. You know, when you go abroad, nobody call me Tanzanian. They call me African. And whatever I do, they don't say Mika did this. They say African, that African guy has done this and that. So I represent Africa. You represent Africa. We represent Africa. That's the reason why we're here today. That's the reason why we should love one another. That's the reason why we should protect one another. That's the reason why we should stand for one another. Because if you fail, I fail. If you don't have peace, I don't have peace. If you die, I die. And if you survive, I survive. And that's what we need. We need people who will love Africa with everything they got. Because out there, nobody loves Africa. And it's my responsibility. It's our responsibility to love Africa, to defend Africa with everything we got. Thank you so much.
We love you, Mika.
Alright guys, here we are at the Science and Technology Museum. I'm ready to do this. Let's go. To all the people, Ethiopians, Africans, no matter who you are, my call is that we need to focus on the light. Darkness has no power. Darkness has no power at all. Like darkness, it has no power. Why? If you're in the deep darkness, all right, you don't see anything. You don't see where you're going. You don't see what is next to you. And then you just turn light. Boop. In 1 second, that darkness disappears.
So do you understand the importance of light in the midst of darkness? This is to tell you that, guys, in the midst of darkness, there's these bright moments that happen, and our job is to focus on that. Sometimes, you know, there'll be a time we'll talk about the issues and everything and the struggles that are happening and how can we get over this, and there will be a time that we channel our energy and we channel our hearts to something good that is happening, to look on the bright side. So I really appreciate that. My contribution goes to the African solutions to African problem. I think, you know, it's almost impossible to have African solutions to African problem if we are not united. We are not one Africa. For so long, for example, we have been wanting the seats at United, you know, Security Council, and these guys, they're not taking us serious because, you know, in fact, we are not really one. I speak to youth all the time across the continent of Africa, and I'm not going to mention countries, but, you know, some of us, for instance, I am from Tanzania, right? But some of us, our parents are teaching us that, you know, you are from Tanzania, you are Tanzanian, and they are African. Someone, like some people have been growing up in an environment like that, believing that they are Tanzanians, but they are not Africans. That's just for instance, right? And so in order for us to have this African solution to African problem, I think the first thing we need to focus on the unity of, you know, one Africa. And how can we get that? Yes, we already have Organization African Union, but I think we need something better than that. We need to give our people, African people, the sense of unity for us to feel like we are united. Today we have these different parts, like northern part, eastern part of Africa, southern and east. And sometimes it's difficult when you want to try to go to the other side of Africa. And how can we give each other the sense of African unity? My suggestion is just one thing, that we already have an organization from African Union, and we have 55 different countries, member states, you know, of this organization. Why don't we have African Union passports? I can have my Tanzanian passport, you can have your Sudanese passport, but we can also have African Union passport. Once we do that, I'm pretty sure that it will give us a sense of that unity. Like us as Africans, when we meet, maybe outside of Africa, or when I go to different country, I see my another Libyan brother right there, he's having like African Union passport. It gives me a sense of us being united together. And when we move forward to start demanding things, start demanding for respect, demanding for seats, these people, they will take us serious because they see that we are actually serious when we talk about African Union and African unity, because we are taking steps. My brother there, he's spoken about, you know, the central bank, African Central Bank. All these are different, you know, things that we can actually agree. We already have an organization, and, you know, I don't see any problem of us to have the single identity representing us through African Union passport, all of us together, to remind us of our unity, and so that we may continue to fight all these battles that we are facing every single day. You know, I don't know, maybe, you know what was my dream? My dream was to become a president of Tanzania when I was 16. I didn't finish that when I was 16. I said I want to become president of Tanzania. But do you know my dream right now? I'm like, no, Tanzania is very small. I want Africa. So I'm not dreaming to be a leader of Africa or whatever, but what I'm doing right now, I'm doing for Africa. So I don't have to be a president to do what I do. I don't have to be like a leader of Africa to do what I do. No, I just need to be an African who loves. Think about that. Usually, I never get used to read a speech, but for today, I'm gonna read a little speech that we wrote, and this will give you a full picture of what we stand for, where we are, and where we are going. It is indeed an auspicious occasion, a great honor and privilege to be here with you today to launch and celebrate a Nations of Union, One Africa. Swahili Nation One Africa is a global initiative founded to unite Africa, explore the abundant opportunities of growth that exist throughout the continent, harmonize ideas, and best steps to harness these for the benefit
of both the young and old generations. To date, Africa remains a continent blessed with numerous resources, yet it is still the poorest in the world. There are numerous internal and external factors that causes this dissonance. The World Bank estimates that by the year 2050, sub-Saharan countries will be home to more than 1 billion people, half of whom will be under 25 years. This demographic stands the best chance at transforming the continent. The most dangerous poverty of all is mind poverty. Colonizers paralyzed Africa decades ago using the education system. The imperialists to date use the divide and rule principle. Africans have for decades been turned against each other. The family unity in Africa, which served a pivotal as a building block of human behavior and society at large, where formative values and respect and responsibility were instilled by parents, all the social order is now disintegrating. Should we sit back and continue complaining while cursing the neo-colonialists? My people, eradicating mind poverty in Africa starts by acknowledging our history, being aware of the present, building on the future, and learning from our mistakes. My people perished and being destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Knowledge remains the biggest challenge we face as Africans. Even with little knowledge we possess, partly our minds have been brainwashed and misinformed. The divide and rule approach of the colonialists remain prevalent even in the current times. Africa, we have allowed ourselves to be divided along with tribes, religion, skin color, clans, ethnicity, amongst others. One Africa, we declare our diversity is our strength. We embrace unity in diversity. Generations behind us are silently pleading for direction. The time is now to reconcile with ourselves, neighbors, and the whole continent. It will be a long road to healing, but in solidarity, we break away from the chains of division and walk the path to freedom. As we forge through this era of technological revolution, Africa should concurrently embrace transformative global trends, especially targeting our education policies. We should create tech corners and replicate across the continent to acquaint professionals in Africa with different trends on education and technology aimed at connecting them with the rest of the world. Unity, peace, and love run a resounding aloe. These three sum can only come through initiative that promote equality of opportunity. Africa is the world's youngest continent with 60% of its population under the age of 25 years. Africa is an envy of the globe, accounting for 19% of the globe youth population. Let us tap into the readily available labor force of the young men and women and detract them from joining extremism. Free them from taking risk journeys across Mediterranean Sea and from appalling conditions and inhuman treatment some experience in the Gulf region. We need to harness the potential of our young people. World Bank estimate that 40% of youth who join extremism are motivated by economic inequality. The exodus of our youth and other professionals through legal or illegal immigration should be a concern for all of us. Our social fabric is being broken, yet human capital is in abundance in Africa. Africans, we have the power to reverse the brain drain into skills gain. I envision an Africa where everyone gets quality education and accessible health service, where no one will be scared to show their ethnicity, religion, or belief, where everyone can traverse freely without being scared of their safety, where everyone is respected for just being a human, where love and peace are our resources for being. Giving is cherished. Sacrificing in service for the benefit of others are honored, where integrity, honesty, hard work, and result-based leadership are the core motivation for all people, especially those who lead us.
One Africa needs more than just talent and passion. We need a rich network of like-minded people, dedicated professionals, experts in various fields, and vast ideas on moving forward to bring about change and prosperity to our beautiful continent, Mother Africa. For a long time, Western media and other foreign nations have manipulated and distorted the truth about Africa for their own gain. No one else can defend Africa but Africans. No one else can support or change this continent, Africa, but Africans. Africa is our home. Africa is our heritage. Africa is our pride. Africa is for Africans. That's why you clap, guys. Thank you, thank you. Collapse the borders. We, the African youth, are ready and energized to build our continent into prosperity. We have the ability to solve our own challenges without external interference and manipulation. We are advancing to reach all Africans across the planet through conversation for a better Africa. We are on a mission to defend the image and heritage of Africa, to decolonize the mind through authentic knowledge, and create a bridge for oneness and peaceful Africa. The core essence of our unity is towards a one Africa of solidarity and peace and love. Knowledge is power. Our people need to be empowered through genuine knowledge based on our values, customs, beliefs, and Africa before colonization. Let us join hands and share in the vision of our humanity, the vision for a one Africa. With all humility, I pledge today that one Africa will unite and build Africa and its people despite of our differences, because our diversity is the key pillar of our unity. I sincerely thank and welcome you abroad to go with me in this journey. Thank you so much.
I can ask you one question right now. What does history tell us you about Africa? Who discovered Africa? If you write right now on Google who discovered Africa, you find out that it's one white man that he came and discovered Africa. And you can ask yourself that how can you discover a place that already exists? How can you discover a place that people already live in that place? It is impossible, but that's what the history tells us. That's what people believe about Africa, that it was discovered by a white man. This guy, he came, and then he went back, he gave a report, and then the next we know is colonialism, because those guys, they sat somewhere to divide Africa like a piece of cake, because they discovered it, they own it, it belonged to them. But that is us. We discovered, we're the first people to know. And today you have a lot of people around the world that they think that Africa was discovered by them.
Hey guys, 93% of people who are watching our channel, Swahili Nation, have not yet subscribed. Only 7% of the viewers in this channel have subscribed. What does that mean? It means a lot of people are coming in this channel to watch videos, but they do not want to be engaged, to be a part of this family and to support this movement and what we're working for towards one Africa in our generation. So my request to all of you guys, if you really like our content, you like what we're doing here in Swahili Nation, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. Don't do just that. Turn on notification button. Don't stop there. Like the videos we share. Share with your friends. Leave your comments, your opinions, so that we may actually interact in the comment section, know what is happening. If you would like to support us even more financially, you can join the Patreon. The link is below. And also you can join us and become a member of this family. So please, guys, do us a favor. When you subscribe, when you like, when you share, you help us to reach to as many people as we can. We want this world to be filled with the positive message about Africa and one Africa, and we want the message to go all across the world. So help us by becoming part of this family. I love you.
This is the journey to one Africa.